Hello everybody, this is Merlo and welcome to the third episode of my Enigmatica 5 playthrough. Since last time I didn't really do much, I just logged off the server, did other stuff, and hoped the bees would run and like make some slime while I was doing other things. I might have overlooked a couple things, like, let me see if I can find one of them around here. I know there was some around here. Of course, when I look for them, there aren't. But there were skeleton bees. That one? It was skeleton bees, like dead bees. There you go. You see one over there. And some moved into the slime hive, and they made some bone combs instead of slime combs. And I didn't know these were a thing. And looking into JI, they said be sure to keep your hives well lit to prevent the sky from moving in. And I totally did not do that. So just now I killed off some of the skeleton bees that were around there, and they forced them to come out of the hive, and I forced the slime bees back into the hive. Now we should have slime bees in here. Yeah, you have two over here and another one over there. Yes. They're all almost dead, which concerns me. And I think what happens is they get caught underneath the lily pads over here. So we'll try and like remove the ones that are close together and just leave some, just like this, to avoid them getting caught underneath them and dying, suffocating. But we do have some slime. We do have some slime over here. Let's grab some. And we also have some slime over in the centrifuge that I've been centrifuging. And the first thing I want to do today, before we cut and start working on refined storage, as I promised, is explain the concept of chunk loading and chunk claiming, because it has occurred to me that you might not know what that means, because it's a concept that's very, very popular, let's say, well, not really popular, but very, very prominent in modern Minecraft, and it's good to explain it. There's a lot of things that I kind of take for granted, because I've been playing modded for such a long time. If you do not know them, or if you like think I went over something a little bit too quick, be sure to let me know, because then I can try and explain them a little bit better. This is chunk claim. Well, first of all, the world of Minecraft is divided into chunks. You can see them over here. They're just 16 by 16 by 256 tall chunks of blocks, let's say, and each chunk has properties, like there could be slime chunks and something like that. With modded, you can claim your chunks. This is like a map of the world. You can claim your chunks like this, like I did over here, and what this means is that these chunks, like let's do this, these chunks are now mine, and no other player can come in here and like break stuff or open chests or something. This is good for multiplayer, and also to keep mobs from breaking stuff, because claimed chunks, for example, are immune to creeper explosions and stuff like that. So it's always good to claim your chunks to like let other people know that this is your place, right? If you look at the bottom, like over here, you see when I get into my claim chunks, it says Merlo because it's me. If I go out, it says Wilderness. Okay. The concept of chunk loading, it means like to have these specific chunks, the ones that I have loaded, so the ones with the red stripes, you see they are force loaded. This means that they will keep running even if I'm not here in the world. Because chunks are also, all these chunks around me are loaded right now. But if I were to like go into the nether per se, these chunks would unload and nothing would happen over here, like the bees would be frozen. And nothing happens until someone else goes here. It's to improve performance, because if every chunk, every player, every explorer was running at the same time, every server would be unplayable basically, because, well, there would be way too much work loaded to calculate. You can choose to force load some chunks so they keep running even if you're not here. This is generally not a good idea to do too much of, because then you are back at the same problem, right? You get laggy worlds because all the world is running at the same time. But it's good to load some chunks to make sure some stuff like the bees are running even if you're not here. Since this is a server and it's running at all times online, it's not like a single player world over here, the claimed chunks or the loaded chunks were running even if I were not on the server, and that's why we got the skeleton bees and that's why we got some slime. If it was in a single player world, once I logged out of it, the world is not running. It would be running if I wasn't near it, so chunk loaded, but the world isn't running on any PC, so it's just not running. And that's at least a rough explanation of chunk loading. I do think I haven't explained it too well, but it's a concept that is easier to understand once you're playing in the world, I think. And it's mostly relevant on servers, because you can load chunks that are yours. In single player it's not as useful, because as I said, when you log off of a world, the world is pretty much dead because it's not running. While the server keeps running even if you're not in it, because other players are in it, for example. Okay, so now, refined storage. Ready, steady, go. I want to have a snappy episode, a fast episode. Let's get going with refined storage. What do we need? What do we need? We will need, well, first of all, we'll need to clear all this list. We will need a controller to start something burning. What is this noise? Whoa, that's weird. Okay, whatever. We need a controller. We need some discs. Let's say 4K for now. We need a disk drive. And we will need a grid. Where's the grid? Here's the grid. Crafter manager, crafter monitor. I should probably just look for it, right? No reason to look for it. We'll need a crafting grid. I will explain what all of these pieces do. For now, let's just make them. Here is the controller. Here's the drive. Here's the grid. And there we go, we have the drive, so we can now start. And I will show you exactly why I wanted to get into refined storage so bad, and what this means like for us going forward. First of all, I would like to bring it like, do we have some cables left over? I think we do, right? Heat pipes? When did I ever make these? It's probably dungeon loot. Yeah, that's definitely dungeon loot. Are we out of cables? We can be out of cables, right? Cables. We might be out of cables. Interesting. Maybe they're in the backpack. They are. This is a neat feature, by the way. If you've never seen this, if you double click the bar over here where you usually like search for items and look at their crafting recipes and what they're used for, if you double click it, it turns this line into yellow, and you can find easily like what you need in because it blacks out everything but the item you're searching for. So it's a neat feature you can sometimes use, and it makes life easier usually. There we go. So pipes, energy cables, I should say. Put them like over here. Put our controller over here. This is the heart of our system in its power, and it's what like will keep everything in check and powered. Then we will put a crafting grid over here. We'll put a disk drive over here, and we'll put our disks inside. So what does this do? Well, basically these disks, you can see they have 4000 storage because these are 4K disks. There are a lot of different disk options. There's 1K, 4K, 16, 64, and so on and so forth until the 630, whatever that is, 16,000. These are the number of items that can be stored in here. So inside these two drives, we can now store 8,000 items. So when you put items into here from the grid, this is like the terminal. Oh god, this is way too big. I like medium usually. Yeah. So when you put items inside here, like I don't know, to use 2 feathers, they go inside. And now I have my feathers in here, and the feathers have gone in here, you see, stored 2. So now if you start getting every item we have inside here, now we might not want to throw everything, but for now I think it will do, because it will make stuff easier for us. If we throw everything in here, for example, if we get all our resources here and just throw them inside, you can see we now have everything in one place, right? And so this makes crafting and overall just managing your items so much more manageable, because like before, think about it, if you have a full inventory, you can either get into a chest and dump stuff randomly into a chest, but then you know you want to craft something and you need something, so you need to like look in the chest, where do I have cobblestone per se? Is it in here? No. Is it in here? No. Now we have everything centralized into one system, into one thing, and you can craft stuff over here. So like right now, if I needed a gold block, let's say, just as an example, I can just gold block, boom, and it takes like items out of the system inside the grid, and I can craft stuff. Then I can clear it, they go back into the system, and everything is manageable over here. So you can see already how this system is much better than a normal like chest and crafting table, and it will get even better once we start using auto crafting. Oh yes, because this system can also craft stuff automatically for us. But I think that's a little bit down the line for us. Right now, I'm mainly using it to have like a centralized, unique storage system, so that we know everything we need is in one place, and crafting is so much easier, like so much easier. Now we might not want to throw this stuff in there, but most things I think we can, because we have space, right? Yeah, this is only 2,000 items, and we have space for 8,000 for now, with a lot of room for expansion, because as you can see there, we have some more, this is 6 more slots to expand with drives inside. Oh, I think I did put the gadget in there. Whatever, I'll find it later. And then we have all the stuff in here. God, this is a lot of... Why do I have so much Jasper in here? This should be in here for sure. There we go. Let's put everything else in here. We can then use, well, what the plan is down the line when we actually have a base. You can then use these things, drawers, to store like large amounts of stuff. So like, I don't know, redstone, lapis and stuff. These will eventually all go into drawers that will be in a room somewhere in our house. And this system can hook actually, like with a particular block, can read stuff from the drawers and interface with them, so that you can see stuff in the drawers from the terminal over here. And it can kind of just create like a closed loop where everything we need is now inside of here, and so it's much easier. Now let's take out some things, because I do want to have like a couple of things inside my backpack, so like my tools and stuff. I don't really want them in here because I'll never use them for crafting per se, but I will more likely need them when I'm running around doing stuff. And so I want... Oh, I need to trash these. This reminds me. Do I have a trash can in here? I do not. Let's just... let's just drop them over here and wait for their despawn. What was it doing? Yeah, I remember now. I was looking for stuff that, like my mining gadget, a shield, stuff like that. When did I get wither skeleton skulls? Or this dungeon loot? Probably. I think... Oh no, I do remember. These were in the weird dungeon that we found in the first episode. Yeah, this I want to keep in my backpack, so I have them at all times on me, but they don't like take up space in my inventory. And there we go. This is my refined system. Oh, we are ready? Oh no, yellow means it's almost full. Then it will get red when it's full. So yeah, we have our refined storage system already kind of going. I might do some little improvements. We can definitely make this thing bigger, and auto crafting will be a big part of the mod pack, because I like to have pretty much everything automated, or at least the more common things automated, so you don't have to manually craft them every time. I want to check on my bees here to see how they're doing, because I don't think they are working as much when I'm offline. Actually, they are chunk loaded. Could try like chunk loading the area around them, but I honestly don't want to chunk load too much, because I'm still on a server with other people, and I do want to be a little bit sparing of chunk loading too. Well, to not be toxic, because there are some people who chunk load everything they see, but then the server gets laggy and unplayable, and it's all their fault, and I don't really want to be that guy on the server. So yeah, I think I will for now try to keep that chunk loaded, and if it does, you see, like the server is struggling a little bit today. Let me see how the TPS is going. I expect it to be a little bit rough. Yeah, wow. No, it's actually pretty good. Interesting. Whatever. I might just be experiencing some weird lag. Anyway, we have everything set up in here now. I think our next step... Let me think about this. Alright, after closer inspection, I think that we're gonna end off this episode on a little bit of a utility journey, if you will. Because I was just looking around, and the next step that makes sense for me is to start building like an actual house around here, you know? I was thinking this place, like this like little neat plains, little biome inside the forest. Another idea I had was also, let me slip through the night real quick. Yeah, so another idea I had was building a house on the other side of the river. Like you can see that there's a little spot over there overlooking the river, like close to the forest over there and close to the mountainside. I am still debating a little bit, like if I want my house to go there or back there. I'm leaning towards that area back there. Maybe you can also tell me in the comments if you have I don't know, a preference, because I'm still struggling a little bit with like deciding, because I did like these like coastline slash mountainside a lot, but also this area down here makes too much sense. Like there's a forest, a nice forest around, and then there's a large space inside the forest. It's like it was made for a house here, right? It just looks like a house is meant to go inside here. So yeah, I'm still deciding, but I do think my next step is to build a house, and we'll do that in the next episode. But for now, before I want to start building a house, I want to have some utility tools that will make building a lot easier. And I have a couple things in mind. First of all, we have the building gadgets mod that will make placing blocks a lot faster. I don't want to like do that on camera because it's simply like 3 simple crafting recipes, and I will show you how we use them in the next episode, I guess. The main 2 things I want to make are an atomic disassembler and an angel ring. The angel ring is pretty straightforward. You make it. It doesn't look too expensive, but if you look at the diamond ring, it's very expensive. And the only purpose is it basically gives you creative flight. Now, flight is something I really like to have in modded, just because it's useful and it gives you like a lot more mobility and it lets you build a lot easier. You might consider it a little bit too cheap for creative flight, but I think it's a fair price for now. I did look at some more like creative ways to fly, but in the end I just think I want a nice simple thing that will allow me to fly and allow me to focus on other stuff. I don't really want to start going down a bee rabbit hole shenanigans just to have flight. And the other thing I want to do is the atomic disassembler. This is basically like, I think I've already told you what this is. This is basically a multi-tool. It's a pickaxe, axe, shovel, it's everything in one, and it works with power so it never breaks. It's just a really good overall tool. So yeah, let's start from the disassembler, because the angel ring needs an elytra, and I'm a little bit like, well, not concerned, but I don't really want to go to the end just yet. I do want to have the equipment first. So let's start working on this thing. Let me see. I think we already have the alloys, right, from mechanism? We do, but we will need more. So first, I think we need to focus on the machines that we'll need, because we will definitely need the metallurgic infuser for sure, yeah. We also want an enrichment chamber to save materials, because otherwise we're gonna waste a lot of materials, and we'll want an osmium compressor. So let's make these 2 machines. We'll need 2 steel casings, which means 8 steel, and for 8 steel we need this, I think, because we don't have the enrichment chamber yet, so boom. This will make dirty iron dust or something. How is it called? I think it's literally called like dirty iron dust, isn't it? Let me see. Enriched iron. I was close enough. And then this enriched iron will go back in here with some more carbon, and it will make steel. So let's make this real quick. Bada bing, bada boom, we have the steel. Now next, what do we need again for the enrichment chamber first? We just need, I think we might have everything we need. I don't know how many circuits we have left. We do have enough circuits left, okay, good. Just make the steel casings. You see how much easier it is to craft stuff in here? That's why I absolutely, like, needed this to function. Let me get some more cables. Like, you see also how much easier it is to find the cables? Yeah, I know. I'm gushing about refined storage mod, but it's one of my favorite mods. It might even come close to being my favorite mod soon if it gets updated. Wink wink. I might know something about it, I might not, because they won't tell me. But still, enrichment chamber done. What do we need this for? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, we need a lot of this infused stuff that we do in the metallurgic infuser. Let's get some osmium. Let's get like half a stack. Sounds good, sounds good. And you could like put, as I've done in the past, you've seen me do this, you could put redstone in here, osmium in here, and it's 1-to-1, like 1 redstone, 1 osmium is 1 circuit, you see, like this recipe, 1 redstone, 1 osmium, 1 circuit. Or you can do this in the enrichment chamber and enrich the redstone. Now it takes a little while, we can split this up eventually, but for now it's fine. It's fine, I guess. And we get enriched redstone. Now when we put this in, it's 80 redstone, so it's like I just put 8 pieces of redstone in there. Now, do we need this for redstone? Absolutely not. We have a stupid amount of redstone. But when we do make refined obsidian and these alloys, we'll need diamond stuff in here. Like you can see, refined obsidian needs diamonds. And now diamonds, we do have some, but we'll spend a lot on here, and we definitely want to save on them because I don't want to go mining again. And so yeah, I made the enrichment chamber just to save up on materials. Not redstone, diamonds most likely, and refined obsidian. But hey, we do have the machine, so might as well use it on redstone as well, right? So yeah, I will start making this. Now, while we're at it, actually, what would it take to make a digital miner? This machine is really good, and we can basically automatically mine for us. And it's not too hard. I might consider it, honestly. I actually think I will make this. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I will end up making this with the Disassembler because it basically takes the same crafting components pretty much, like atomic alloys and fried obsidian, and I'm working towards those. So yeah, let's see how this goes. But I will come back once I have some crafting done, because this is a little bit boring. I'm just waiting around for machines. And yeah, see you later. By the way, here's another good tool. Have you ever heard how loud and obnoxious mechanism machines are? Like, I mean loud. You're not hearing them right now. Well, some are not working, but mostly I'm using the sound muffler over here. You can just look at the list of the sounds in the game and mute select sounds. If I now try like to unmute, I don't know, the osmium compressor maybe? Where's the osmium compressor? Am I blind? Compressor, there we go. If I unmute the osmium compressor, just listen to this. What is this? This is what hell sounds like. I imagine when you go to hell, you hear this. And to be fair, there is also a sound muffler upgrade for mechanism you can craft and put in the machine. But I have this magic thing in my inventory. I'm not about to go crafting a sound muffler upgrade for every machine. Thank you very much. So yeah, I've just noticed because the osmium compressor I didn't mute for some reason, and when I placed it down, it started like, it almost startled me because it was like, what the hell is this sound? And then I realized it was just mechanism machines being mechanism machines. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Anyhow, back to crafting. Alrighty, so if I've done everything correctly, I believe we have enough for the atomic disassembler. Let me see, we just need this, which we should be able to do. Very good, and we have the disassembler. This is way too cheap for what it does. Let me show you what this thing can do. Let me just charge it up a little bit. I don't want to charge it up too much because I don't want to kill our battery, but actually we should have enough to just fully charge it. Yeah, let's go. So, atomic disassembler, what can it do? First of all, let's just go down here for a second. It's a pretty fast tool, right? Yeah, sure. And it also, as I said, what? Oh, the server is very laggy today. But it also digs dirt, for example, because it's a multi-tool, and it will also cut down trees, for example. Let me show you. If you don't believe me, I know you don't believe me. It will even strip logs in one new Minecraft. But then you can hold shift and hold the mouse wheel, and you can see you can cycle through modes. You can see them at the bottom of the screen over here, and also when what was that noise? What on earth? Did you guys hear that? Sure, and you can also see them like over here when I cycle through them. You see now it's off, and so it doesn't even work. You can turn it off if you want. You can put it into vein mine mode, which is basically like just, let's go a bit down to test vein mine mode. Basically just digs a lot of the same type of blocks, let's say. So if I vein mine this, that was not what I expected to happen. Vein mode, dude. Sure, vein mine mode doesn't work, but we can also put it in fast mode, right? Slow, fast. Oh god, the lag is killing me today. What is going on? If I put it in fast mode, it's pretty much insta-mine, right? And then if I put it in slow mode, because you know I'm working on my base and I want to destroy my base, which I usually do. Well, I usually don't, I guess I should say. Very slow mode, there we go, it goes very slow. So it's just a highly useful tool, and I love how customizable it is, because you can just change it up given like what you're doing. If you're mining, just go fast and you're crazy. If you're building your base, you might want to have it on normal or even on slow, just so that you don't dig up half your base by mistake. And it's overall just a really good tool, and as I said earlier, it's unbreakable basically, because you see I'm using, instead of durability, I'm using power. So now I've used a little bit of power. I just plop it in here, and boom, it's already fully repaired and just use some windmill power. That's amazing. I really like the Disassembler, and I'm so glad I have this now. And I did decide to go for the digital mining as well, so let's get to making this. I shouldn't be too far off, fair, honestly. And there we go, miner is done. I don't think I will use it now. I might, frankly, I might just show you how this works. Let's just clear some space for it back here, maybe. Wait, I do have this thing. Yeah, that's a bit faster. Right, so let's put it like here. Okay, look at this big boy, huh? So what does this do, you may ask? Well, it's a miner, and it will mine. We can configure it to have, first of all, a radius of... Okay, so here's something I've never tried that I kind of wanna try. The angel wing is clearly better, because it's just creative flight, straight up. But if we're gonna go to the end and search for an elytra, we might as well make a jetpack, right? I've never used the mechanism jetpack, so I'm really curious to see like how it works. I know it needs fuel, hydrogen. Let's try it. Let's try it on. I don't think it will be too hard to craft. So let me just do this real quick live. There we go, jetpack. And we'll need hydrogen, so we will need an if we can touch electric separator from mechanisms. So this thing, I need all the dust. Ooh, it's gonna be a little bit harder to craft. It's not hard, but it will take at least a while, so I might just cut to when we have this done. There we go. So electric separator. Let's put it, well, this is already such a mess, but I don't really care because I am gonna move eventually, of course, because I'm gonna build a house. Let's put it over here for now. And we'll need water. Let's just put it in manually for now, who cares, honestly. Do I have like a water source over here? I do. I don't. I just have one water bucket, sure. Let's just quickly make a water source over here. Do we have, actually, do we have the sink? We do have the sink. Okay, so here's a neat trick. If you're new to mod it, you might not realize it. You don't have clay. No. Do we have clay though? I feel like we should have clay. I guess we don't. Let's go get some clay. There's this mod called Cooking with Blockheads, which is what the sink is for, which basically adds kitchenware style mod, not mods, but kitchenware style blocks, right? So sink, the oven and stuff, and the goal is just to have some fun cooking experiences in Minecraft. Now the sink also outputs a constant amount of water, so it's like having an infinite water source just in a block. And so it's usually abused for anything but what its original concept was, but it's really good, so there's really no reason for us not to do it. There we go, clay acquired, sink acquired. Let's also make some liquid, what's it called, pipe from mechanism? Mechanical pipe, there we go, boom. So, we'll need also the thing. We'll need the thing, guys, the thing, the configurator, which should be fairly easy to make. This is kind of like mechanism's wrench. You can just tweak mechanism machines and configure them with this thing. Like you can tell mechanism machines where to input and output stuff, kind of like this menu from Thermal I showed in the first episode. You can also do this from here in mechanism machines, but you also can do it from the outside if you don't want to go into the machine. And so what I want to do now is, like, say, have the sink down here. As I said, this is an infinite water source, so if I had a bucket, let's just show this to show you I'm actually serious about this. Well, not that you would have any reason to doubt me, I hope. But if we take a bucket, you can just pull and push water as we please out here, so it's really good. And if we put a pipe over here, oh, this doesn't want to... Where does this accept again? From here. Okay, sure. So let's put the sink here instead of there, because mechanism machines are sometimes very picky about where they accept input. Let's bust out the configurator, tell you no, not here, but you should take out from here and put into here. So now We're filling it with water automatically. There we go. And hydrogen is filling up. We can just put our jetpack here and it will start sucking in hydrogen. Very, very good. Very, very good. We can set the oxygen to dumping excess for now. This means that when this tank will fill up, it will just keep running and make hydrogen because we want to keep the hydrogen, not the oxygen. But now, let me try it on for a second. How does this work? Do we just... Ooh, I do just. Does this... It does not negate full damage. Okay, it's just a nice hovering jetpack. How does this look in... Oh, this looks cool though. I like this, I like this. It's better than nothing. I will eventually still go for the... Wow, this looks sick. I will eventually go for the angel ring, but I think this will be fine for now. Very good. The last thing I want to do before ending off the episode, and again in the next episode we'll start setting up a house, and I don't want to start it yet, so maybe this episode will be a little bit on the shorter side, but yeah, I just want to go to the next episode and start making a house as soon as possible. I do want to sort out my feeding situation though, because right now I've just been eating random stuff like this pork chop and I don't really want to eat anymore. Yeah, I know this sounds very wrong, but there's a way to nut it. We can just make an invite. Oh, I did not plan this. Is it just not here? It's not here. Oh, never mind. Don't mind me, guys. Well, there used to be a block in RF Tools that allowed you to, like, I don't know, sort of a vanilla beacon to apply a potion effect in a certain area. It seems to not be here yet, so my plans are ruined. Is there something else that would allow me to give myself, like, saturation? Saturating condenser, no. Feeding something. Feeding throw, that's not exactly what I wanted. Meat feeder, oh, liquid meat. Is it a thing? It is. This a whole different rabbit hole that I'm not really ready for right now. So I think I'll just keep eating random stuff for now. We'll eventually figure out a heating situation. We do already kind of have honey automated, so I do have some infinite food potential. I might look into Farmer's Delight. This one has a lot of, like, interesting food options, so we might just automate a chicken sandwich per se or something like this, or a slice of apple pie. And we might go deeper into cooking for blockheads, so this means we might build an actual kitchen and not just use the sink for water, like I just did. Let me check on the slime beast for now. 41 crumbs, that's what I like to see. But if we're gonna build a kitchen, we'll need a house, and so, you know what that means? Next episode, it's house time, baby. I hope I can make at least a decent job. I'm not exactly the best builder in Minecraft, but I do try, I guess. I'll do my best. I can only assure you that I'll do my best. Will it look good? Probably not. Probably not. I'm more of a technical kind of guy in modded Minecraft, but yeah. I hope it will be at least presentable, since, you know, we're on a server, we're alone now, but we're still on a server, so people will be on and off, people might see our base, so we want to do a good impression on them, right? Right, how's the digital miner going? Ooh, very good. We might, before I log off, we might want to make like a chest, but not a regular chest, a big chest, like a this big chest, right? So that we can just slap it on here. Oh, we do have the combs to process also. So that we can just slap it on here. We tell this bad boy to auto-eject, and it will start putting stuff in here so that he has some space at least. Good, very good. We have automated resources. We have a very good storage system. I'd say this is a very decent amount of progress for this episode. It might be a little bit on the short side, but next episode, believe you me, we will have a house for now. So it's time to sign off. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to subscribe, and as always, take care.